I remember the exact moment the weight of it all hit me, like a dust storm rolling in from the Nevada Badlands, choking the air out of everything. My name's Alex Rivera, and I've spent the last 15 years buried in the guts of Frontier Tech Solutions, a mid-sized outfit tucked away in Reno, where the Sierra Nevada mountains meet the high desert. We weren't Silicon Valley flashy, no venture capital sharks circling or ping-pong tables in the break room. Just solid, reliable infrastructure work for casinos, mining ops, and logistics firms across the West. Our servers hummed in a cooled-out warehouse on the edge of town, powering everything from slot machine networks to supply chain trackers. And holding it all together was my buddy Jack Harlan, the quiet genius who'd been there since the dial-up days. Jack wasn't the type to chase glory. He was more like those old prospectors who'd stake a claim and work it steady, never bragging about the gold they found. For years, he was our infrastructure custodian, the guy who built the firewalls, encrypted the data tunnels, and kept the legacy systems from crumbling under their own weight. I'd watch him from my desk, fingers flying over 3 monitors, muttering about load balancing while the rest of us griped about slow queries. "It's all connected," he'd say softly, like he was confiding in the code itself. But inside, I knew he carried the burden alone. How many nights had I seen him stay late, documenting every tweak, every patch? Because no one else could? I felt a pang of guilt even then, wondering why I never pushed harder for him to train backups. But life in Reno Tech was grinded-out survival. We all assumed Jack would always be there, like the mountains themselves. Then came Victor Slade, our new ops director, fresh from a stint in Seattle with that big cloud provider. He rolled in like a summer thunderstorm, expensive boots clicking on the linoleum, a Rolex glinting under the fluorescent lights, spouting terms like optimize synergies and pivot to agility. I could feel the shift immediately, a tension coiling in my gut. Victor wasn't from around here. He didn't get the Western way of loyalty, where you stick by your crew through droughts and booms. His first all-hands meeting felt like a showdown at high noon. "We're streamlining," he declared, eyes scanning the room like he was sizing up cattle for auction. "Legacy roles need realignment to match market realities." Translation: pay cuts for the old guard. I sat there, heart pounding, glancing at Jack across the table. His face was stone, but I could see the flicker in his eyes, the hurt of being reduced to a line item. Inside, my mind raced. This isn't right. Jack's the backbone. Without him, we're dust. But I stayed silent, coward that I was, telling myself it wasn't my fight. Victor zeroed in on Jack's salary during the Q&A. "Why is this custodian pulling more than my leads? What's the ROI on babysitting old servers?" The room went quiet, the kind of hush that echoes louder than shouts. Our CTO, Elaine, shifted uncomfortably but said nothing. HR nodded along like puppets. Jack just asked, calm as a still lake, "Is this cut company-wide? Or just targeting the folks who've built this place?" Victor's smirk cut deep. "Just legacy tech. Take it or walk." My stomach twisted. "Say something, Alex. Back him up." But the words stuck in my throat, fear of my own job holding me back. Jack looked around, his gaze lingering on me longest, and I couldn't meet it. Shame burned hot in my chest. He nodded once, stood, and packed his battered laptop into his faded denim backpack.
No outburst.
No scene, just quiet dignity as he walked out. Victor called after him, "Best of luck," with that smug tone that made me want to punch a wall. I followed Jack to the door, mumbling, "Hey,
Man.
this sucks." He paused, eyes distant. "It is what it is." Alex. Systems don't run on loyalty anymore. And with that, he was gone, leaving me staring at his empty truck pulling out of the lot, dust kicking up under the tires. That weekend, I couldn't shake the unease. Pacing my small apartment overlooking the Truckee River, I replayed the meeting in my head. Why didn't I speak up? Jack saved my ass a dozen times, debugging my scripts, covering my shifts when my mom was sick. The guilt gnawed at me, deeper than any code error. Monday morning, the office felt off, like the air pressure had dropped before a monsoon. Jack's desk sat untouched, his sticky note still there. Check router 7's ping, it's flaky. I tried logging into the admin console for a routine check. And bam, access denied. At first, I thought it was a glitch. Refreshed, retried. Nothing. By 8 a.m., alerts started pinging, API timeouts, sync failures. My pulse quickened. This can't be coincidence. The team scrambled, but every command bounced back. Victor strolled in at 9, chuckling. Rough start? Just reboot the tunnels. But it wasn't that simple. Our biggest client, a Vegas casino chain, called in furious. Their data feeds were dark. Fix it, or we're pulling the contract. I felt panic rising.
A storm in my chest.
Jack built this. He was the custodian of record, per the policy he drafted after that audit last year. No shared keys anymore, everything tokenized through him to meet compliance. And with his termination, those revocations kicked in automatically. Legal had fast-tracked his exit paperwork without a second glance. Victor's priority urgent stamp all over it. No one had read the fine print. Revocation of layered custodial access upon termination of final admin. It was airtight. Western law solid. No overrides without his sign-off. By noon, the war room was chaos. Elaine paced, barking orders. Where's the backup access? Victor deflected. He left docs. I slammed the printout on the table. The memo Jack sent months ago warning about single-threaded risks. You thumbed up this, Victor. We all did. Shame and anger warred inside me. I let this happen. I could have fought for redundancy training. Elaine's face paled. We need Jack back.
Now.
Calls to his cell went to voicemail. That robotic tone mocking us. Inside, I wrestled with regret. He trusted me as a friend, and I sat silent. The systems weren't sabotaged. They just reflected his absence. A quiet consequence of our betrayal. As the day dragged,
Los Munted client posing payments.
Our reputation crumbling like dry sagebrush. And all I could think was, what have we done? The blackout hit harder as the sun climbed high over the Reno skyline, casting long shadows through our office windows like fingers pointing blame. By afternoon, the failures cascaded, database query stalling, firewalls locking out even internal traffic. I stared at my screen, credentials failing again and again. My mind a whirlwind of self-reproach. Jack warned us. In that memo, he laid it out plain. Lose the custodian.
Lose the chain.
But we'd ignored it. Too busy chasing efficiency to value the man behind the machine. Victor tried barking orders. Cycle the proxies. Force a reset. But nothing worked. The policy Jack crafted was ironclad. Compliant with Nevada data laws, no backdoors, no shared routes. It was designed to protect us from breaches, not from our own stupidity. Elaine called an emergency huddle in the conference room, the air thick with tension and stale coffee. Legal huddled over Jack's termination file, flipping pages frantically. Here, one paralegal whispered, highlighting the clause. Final custodian J.
Harlan.
Access revoked effective immediately. Victor's face drained of color, his bravado cracking. We had shared creds. Legal shook their head. Deprecated last audit. Single-threaded now. I felt a surge of vindication, mixed with sorrow. Jack didn't lash out. He just followed the rules we all signed off on.
Inside.
My thoughts tumbled. If I'd spoken up in that meeting, pushed for his worth, maybe he'd still be here. Instead, I watched him walk away, carrying the weight we should have shared. The clients piled on. Mining firms in Idaho losing tracking data. Logistics in Utah grinding to a halt. One email from our top partner, Silver Ridge Casinos, hit like a gut punch, suspending all integrations until stability restored. Expect compensation for downtime. That was millions in play. Our lifeline in this desert economy. Victor paced, muttering about oversights, but I could see the fear in his eyes, the realization that his realignment had gutted us. Elaine turned to me. Alex, you were close to Jack. Any secondary contact? I hesitated, guilt flooding back. His cell's off. He's probably out at his cabin near Tahoe. Unplugging. The truth stung. Jack had mentioned retiring there someday. Fishing in the clear waters. Away from the grind. He deserved peace. Not this mess we created. As the hours ticked by, the office buzzed with whispers. Where's Jack? Can we sue? Legal nixed that fast his exit was clean.
No malice.
Just policy enforcement. No grounds under U.S. labor laws. We'd breached our own protocols by not planning redundancy. My mind raced with what-ifs. What if I'd backed him? What if we'd valued loyalty over cuts? The emotional toll deepened. A ache in my chest for the friend I'd failed. By evening, Elaine drafted a re-engagement offer, consulting rate double his old pay. Immunity for any fixes. But deep down, I doubted it'd be enough. Jack wasn't vengeful. He was principled. A true Westerner who believed in earning your keep. We tried his number again at dusk. The mountains glowing orange outside. Finally, it rang. Jack picked up. Background noise of wind through pines. Yeah, Elaine's voice shook. Jack. It's Elaine. Systems are down, full lockout. You're the only one who can unwind this. Silence stretched, heavy with unspoken hurt. Figured, he said evenly. You calling to fix what you broke? My heart clenched. He sounds tired, not angry. We did this to him. Elaine pushed. We'll renegotiate. Better terms. Your call. Another pause. Not talking temp patches. I need real change. Title upgrade. Remote work. Choose my shadows. Elaine agreed fast.
Done.
Draft incoming. He hung up, leaving us in stunned quiet.
Inside.
Relief warred with remorse. He's giving us a chance. But at what cost to his soul? The contract flew together overnight. Triple salary. Senior Architect Emeritus. 15-year custodial license. Full immunity under Nevada contract law. No more undercutting. He'd be untouchable. Victor fought it, but Elaine shut him down. This is on you. As I lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling, emotions surged stronger, regret turning to resolve. I won't stay silent again. Jack's teaching us all a lesson in value, and I'll learn it. Morning brought his approval email. Accepted. Starting phased restore.
No fanfare.
Just instructions. I was one of his shadows, logging in remotely as he guided us through the nodes. Start with the heartbeat pings, he typed. Document every step. His patience cut deep, reminding me of the man I'd let down. As systems flickered back, clients eased off. But the inner turmoil grew. How do I make this right? Apologize? Or show it through actions? Victor's absence loomed. He'd been reassigned, his negligence cited in an internal review. Rumors of his lawsuit fizzled. No one missed him. With each layer restored, Jack's voice calls revealed more, quiet reflections on loyalty lost. Systems reflect people, he said once. Ignore the foundation. It crumbles. My guilt evolved into gratitude. Emotions intensifying as I realized this wasn't revenge. It was redemption. We'd undervalued him.
But now,
We'd rebuild stronger. With him at the core. As the restore progressed into the second day, the emotional undercurrents pulled me deeper. Like the Truckee River after a spring thaw, swift, unforgiving, carrying debris of regret. Jack's instructions came steady via secure chat. Retokenize the vaults next.
no shortcuts.
Alex. Hearing my name from him stung. A reminder of our fractured bond. He trusted me once. Shared beers after shifts, talking about his dreams of a quiet life. And I repaid him with silence. The office hummed with tentative relief as APIs stabilized. But inside me, the storm raged. Clients like Silver Ridge thawed. Resuming feeds with cautious emails, appreciate the quick turnaround. But the praise felt hollow. This was Jack's doing, not ours. Elaine held a debrief.
Her voice strained.
We've learned custodianship isn't optional. Victor was officially out. His desk cleared overnight. A casualty of his own hubris. Legal confirmed. His fast-tracking violated internal policies, opening him to negligence claims. No sympathy stirred in me. He treated Jack like disposable gear. But as I shadowed Jack's remote session, watching code lines revive the stack, sorrow deepened. Why'd you come back? I typed privately. His reply, not for them. For the system I built, and maybe for folks like you who get it now. Tears pricked my eyes. He sees potential in us, despite the betrayal. That's grace I don't deserve. The phased work revealed Jack's genius anew. Nested authorizations. Timestamped nodes. All compliant with federal data regs and Nevada privacy laws. He'd foreseen risks, drafting that clause to force accountability.
No malice.
Just foresight. My mind churned. If I'd advocated for him, pushed for shadows earlier. This blackout never happens. Guilt morphed into self-doubt. Heavier now, questioning my role in this toxic culture. During a voice sync, Jack's tone softened. Alex, remember that outage in 18? We fixed it together. I nodded, though he couldn't see.
Yeah.
You carried us.
Pause.
We all carry each other. That's the point. His words hit like a revelation, stirring hope amid the pain. By midweek, full stability returned, dashboards glowing green. Elaine announced Jack's new role company-wide, untouchable, with veto on infra changes. But the real shift was internal, teams trained on redundancy. No more single points of failure. I volunteered for extra sessions, absorbing his wisdom. Build for endurance, he advised. Emotions peaked in solitude. He's forgiving. But can I forgive myself? A late-night call from him intensified it. You okay? Alex. Not really. Sorry I didn't fight for you. Silence. Then, apology accepted. Let's move forward. Relief flooded. But with it, a vow. I'll honor this second chance. Become the ally he needed. As weeks blended, the company transformed. Fewer tickets, smoother ops. Auditors praised our resilience, citing Jack's frameworks. His plaque went up, custodial anchor, J. Harlan. 2010 present. Seeing it, pride swelled. laced with lingering ache. He didn't just save us, he humanized us. Rumors of Victor struggling in Seattle job hunts brought no joy, only pity for a man blind to loyalty's worth. Jack's remote presence grew legendary, rare pings solving crises, each a reminder of grace earned. In quiet moments, staring at the desert horizon, emotions overwhelmed, gratitude for Jack's mercy, resolve to champion others. This wasn't just a fix, it was rebirth, teaching that true strength lies in valuing the quiet pillars holding us up. With stability restored, the emotional torrent inside me surged like a flash flood through a canyon, raw, relentless, carving deeper channels of introspection. Jack's guidance evolved from technical to philosophical during our shadows. Systems fail when people do, he said on a call, his voice carrying the weight of years unspoken. I felt exposed. My failures laid bare. How many times did I overlook his burdens, assuming he'd endure? The office buzzed with newfound respect, engineers referencing his docs like scripture. But for me, it was personal atonement. Elaine promoted me to lead Shadow, a role I accepted with humility, vowing to emulate Jack's patience. Clients fully reinstated, praising our robust recovery, but the accolades rang empty. This was Jack's triumph, born of our neglect. Legal tied up loose ends, Victor's exit sealed with a halved severance. His negligence documented under employment law. No lawsuit materialized. He'd faded into irrelevance.
Inside,
I grappled with forgiveness. Not just Jack's, but my own. A private chat with him cracked me open. Why give us this chance? Because revenge poisons the well. Better to teach. His words pierced, evoking tears. He's choosing mercy over bitterness. A lesson in humanity I desperately needed. As months passed, the company flourished resilient chains, mirrored keys, all per Jack's blueprint. I trained juniors, echoing his methods, feeling his influence heal my wounds. But emotions intensified in solitude, waves of sorrow for lost trust, surges of hope for redemption. During a rare video call, Jack's face appeared, lined but serene. Tahoe pines behind him. You're doing good, Alex. Pride swelled, but with it, profound grief for what we'd almost destroyed. Thanks to you, he smiled faintly.
No.
Thanks to learning. The auditor's glowing report arrived. Exemplary custodial protocols. Ensuring continuity. Jack's name anchored it all. His status, remote.
Sovereign.
A 15-year license, making him indispensable by design. Whispers of his quiet stand became legend, inspiring policy overhauls. Victor's downfall served as caution. Hubris crumbles empires. In my core, the drama peaked, inner conflicts resolving into purpose. Jack didn't just rebuild systems, he rebuilt me. Gratitude overwhelmed, a cathartic release amid the desert's vast silence. The transformation complete. Emotions crashed over me like a Sierra avalanche. Overwhelming. Transformative. Burying old doubts under layers of profound insight. Jack's legacy permeated everything. Systems unbreakable. Teams collaborative. A culture valuing every cog. I led trainings, channeling his wisdom. But each session unearthed deeper feelings, aching remorse evolving into empowering gratitude. Custodianship is stewardship, he'd say. His words a balm for my scarred conscience.
Client thrived.
Partnerships strengthened. Our Reno outpost a beacon of reliability. Legal's final stamp. All compliant.
No vulnerabilities.
Victor vanished from radars. A footnote in failure. But Jack's mercy shone brightest, no gloating. Just quiet continuity. In a final call, Emotions peaked. Jack, you've changed us. You changed yourselves. Tears flowed freely now, release from years of silence. His lesson, gentle yet profound, undervalue the foundation, and it crumbles, but rebuild with heart. And it endures forever. The company stood taller, I stronger, all because one man's stand taught us humanity's true worth.